Hello there, I'm Russell Barwick. Welcome to Tuesday's edition of AFL Today here on Big Pond Sport. Making news this morning, Judd pips the favourites to take home Brownlow Medal number 2. Tyson Goldsack charged with rough conduct but free to play in the grand final if he takes the early plea. And Jarrod Harbrow becomes the 5th uncontracted player to join the Gold Coast Suns. But first up, Carlton skipper Judd has won his 2nd Brownlow Medal overnight. Judd polled 30 votes, including 8 best on ground nominations, finishing 4 votes ahead of last year's winner Gary Ablett. Collingwood's Dane Swan, who was the pre-count favourite, was 3rd with 24. The 27-year-old had secured victory, or at least a tie, by round 20, making him the 13th player to win 2 Brownlow medals and only the 4th to win AFL's highest individual honour with 2 different clubs.
Dane's had an amazing year, as has Gazza and Hodgie and others, so you know, I don't think anyone comes to these things expecting to win, but sometimes you really come expecting not to win, and that was certainly me tonight. So it's a spin out, but you know, it's a huge honour, and yeah, it's still pretty excited by it.
You're the 13th man to win the Brownlow at least twice, and one of the rare few to win it at 2 different clubs.
Yeah, it was a big decision to come home and come to Carlton after 6 years at West Coast. You know, I've really enjoyed the challenge of playing with a new club and you know, really enjoyed playing with a new group of blokes that are a fantastic crew. So, you know, I think all the players that are having a drink tonight are envious of the blokes that are sipping on waters tonight, and hopefully our club's not too far away from being in that same situation.
In other news, towards the grand final, and Collingwood's Tyson Goldsack is expected to take the early guilty plea for a rough conduct charge on the weekend. That means he'll be free to play in the grand final, of course, receiving a reprimanded and carryover points for the incident against Geelong's Mathew Stokes. Other preliminary final incidents were deemed not worthy of a charge by the match review panel. And Collingwood vice-captain Scott Pendlebury has declared Luke Ball a certain starter this weekend. It was feared Ball had damaged his left hamstring in the Pies' win over Geelong, but the club insists he's only suffering from cramp. Elsewhere, St Kilda's Nick D'Alessandro is also expected to line up this weekend despite leaving training early yesterday. The star midfielder did some handball drills for half an hour before calling it quits, but he's adamant that the back soreness he suffered during the Saints' win against the Bulldogs is only minor. He'll also be fit to play on Saturday afternoon. Defender Jason Graham says he'll be okay as well, despite suffering a groin complaint. Well, the Gold Coast haven't wasted any time in announcing the Bulldogs' Jarrod Harbrow as their 5th uncontracted player recruit. Harbrow joins Campbell Brown, Michael Riscatelli, Nathan Bock and Nathan Cracker at the new club. Geelong's Gary Ablett remains the Suns' top target. He's reported to have said he'll make a decision within the next fortnight. And the Western Bulldogs' Nathan Eagleton has joined his skipper Brad Johnson in retiring from the AFL. The 31-year-old played a total of 277 games, joining the Dogs in 2000 from Port Adelaide. And that does bring you up to date with the latest AFL news this morning. Don't forget this afternoon's edition with Nat Edwards online from 2 o'clock this afternoon Eastern Standard Time. And to get a total sport fix, including articles and videos, go to bigpondsport.com. And a reminder how to access our content on your mobile. Simply press Big Pond on your Telstra XG, then select Sport. And you can also view our content on your television through the brand new Telstra T-Box. This digital set-top box, when connected to your Big Pond broadband service, gives you access to all Big Pond Sport content direct to your TV. And I'm Russell Barwick. We'll see you again tomorrow.